They need to be living on the edge of entrepreneurialism, which says, I'm going to try different things. Some things will win and some things will fail. But if I don't try them, I'll play safe. And I play safe, I'm going to be like everyone else. Our company at Coral Tree, we can't be like everyone else. In order for us to be competing against global companies, we got to do things slightly more aggressive, slightly more calculated, and be prepared for that risk. And sometimes it's as silly as celebrating, a mistake. We're really good at teaching people about praise, showing praise and hoping people will follow the praise and recognition we give to others. So we need to do the same with failure and say, look, Tom made a mistake, and you know what? He came and told me about that mistake, and I'm really proud that he did that, because I know the next time it won't be a mistake. It's going to be awesome. And that culture will start to manifest in our company of thousands of employees. I believe that is done because it's a consistent way of life. It's not a once in a while we'll do it. It's got to be an everyday behavior that creates that comfort and trust within the organization.
Well said, Tom. I'm going to stay on workforce, if you don't mind. Look, how have you seen that evolved? A few years ago, Wall Street Journal had an article, what they deemed how the business world will manage the trophy babies, because if two teams are playing, the winning team gets the trophy and the losing team gets the trophy. Well, business world might not work the same way. Also, the industry appears to be at a bit of a crossroad, because the younger generations, the millennials and Gen Zs, they are not necessarily looking at this industry as a career. I was sold the career growth, and I fell into it, and I have loved every bit of my time that I've been able to spend, and consider myself very fortunate. What have you seen? How has that workforce evolved and changed? And what can the leaders in today's world need to do to make sure that we are looking after people?
Yeah, boy, that's such a in-depth question and an important one for our industry. You and I could spend hours on that, so I'll try to cherry pick my first reactions to your question. Is one, much like service, it's never been an easy labor market. If my father was, bless his heart, still alive, he'd sit there and say, look, son, you don't know what it was like hiring bellmen when they just, finished war, because they were in the draft. So if you think you have it hard now, think about then, or back in the time in the Depression. So I just think there's always been challenges in the generation that we live within, right? So we're the generation of technology. We're the ones that will remember the things called COVID babies today and COVID careers. And later on will be the advent of AI technology and how it changed industry. But at the end of the day, that has those types of changes, albeit the specific of the change. I think that's what's always been going on, right? We've lived through double-digit interest rates. We've lived in, wars. We've lived in religious crisis that are globally that impacted travel, which impacts our industry. So today, yes, we've got a generation of children that are the most educated class of people in the history of mankind. My grandchildren who are 4 and 5 can work at a computer better than I can, probably. Maybe that's an assault on myself more than it is a compliment on them. But that's a blessing, right? The blessing is that people are being educated. We can travel around the world, where when I was growing up, that was for the extreme affluent, to travel international and see other cultures and see how other people live.